The great heroes of legend are gone. The world has changed. In the city of radiant light, life seemed ordinary. People went about their daily routines, unaware that lurking in the shadows was a mysterious force threatening to engulf the city in eternal darkness. That was when four unlikely heroes appeared. First, there was Lian. She wasn't the strongest nor the fastest, but she had a gift. With a single thought, she could freeze everything around her, turning bustling crowds into statues of ice. She could also rewind time by a few seconds, fixing mistakes before they happened. She kept her power a secret, fearing that others wouldn't understand. Then there was Adam. He was a young man with a short temper, always getting into fights. One day during a heated argument, he felt a surge of anger and suddenly flames burst from his hands, burning away the wooden table in front of him. Terrified and confused, he ran away, hiding his face behind a blue hoodie to conceal his identity. Adam struggled with his power every day. It was a constant struggle not to let his emotions get the better of him. Salim was a genius inventor. He didn't have any superpowers like the others, but he was determined to make a difference. Using his knowledge of technology and engineering, he built an armored suit that could fly and unleash powerful weapons. He hoped this would allow him to stand up to the growing darkness, even without superpowers. Finally, there was Noor. She was a kind-hearted girl who loved animals. She could feel the sadness in their eyes, the pain they endured. But she also saw their courage and determination to keep going despite their struggles. She drew strength from them and soared through the sky at lightning speed while waging beams of pure energy to shatter the darkness. These four unlikely heroes were all that stood between Radiant City and the encroaching darkness. However, they didn't know it yet. Each of them lived their lives in secret, unaware of the others and unaware of the destiny that awaited them. Meanwhile, the evil entity consuming the city remained hidden in the shadows, patiently waiting for the moment to strike. It reveled in the fear and despair of the people, growing stronger with every negative emotion. Its name was the Void Shade. It was an ancient being of pure darkness that fed on the negative emotions of humanity. As the darkness in people's hearts grew, so did its power. And now it was ready to engulf Radiant City in eternal darkness. One day, as Lian strolled through the park, she noticed some children being bullied by a group of older kids. Without thinking, she froze time and scared the bullies away. When time resumed, the children stared at her in amazement. She smiled and told them it was all just a magic trick. But deep down, she knew she had just used her powers for the first time to help someone else. Across town, Adam was struggling to control his powers. He was trying to help a friend fix a car when he accidentally set the garage on fire. Traumatized, he ran away until he came across a peaceful garden. Suddenly, flames erupted from his hands again, but this time he didn't panic. He focused his power and created a small fire, a tiny flame that danced in the palm of his hand. It was a good sign. Maybe he could control his power after all. Salim was working in his garage on a new invention when the lights suddenly went out. Without panicking, he activated his emergency generator and continued working. He had a hunch that the recent blackout was somehow connected to his own inventions. So, he decided to investigate. Noor was flying through the sky when she saw a group of birds trapped in a net. Without hesitation, she dive-bombed the net, scattering the birds and freeing them from their confinement. As she flew away, she felt a surge of power course through her body. For the first time, she realized how truly strong she was. The four heroes each took a step towards embracing their powers, unaware that they were being watched. The Void Shade observed them from the shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the city, the Void Shade made its move. It unleashed a wave of darkness that swept through Radiant City, causing widespread panic and despair. People cowered in their homes as the darkness threatened to consume them. It was time for the heroes to act. Lian, Adam, Salim, and Noor each received a mysterious message summoning them to an abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of town. They each arrived separately, confused and cautious. Inside the warehouse, they found three figures standing in a circle, their backs to the newcomers. As they approached, the figures turned around, revealing themselves to be Lian, Adam, Salim, and Noor. They were all equally surprised. "How is this possible?" Lian asked. "How can there be three of me?" Then it hit them. They weren't actually looking at other versions of themselves. Instead, they were staring at their reflections in a large mirror. The mirror shimmered and rippled, and then the reflections stepped out of it. When the reflections approached, they introduced themselves as echoes, fragments of the hero's true selves. Echoes showed them that their powers were linked and that they had been chosen to become the Guardians of Light, a team of four heroes destined to protect Radiant City from the forces of darkness. However, the path ahead was perilous, and they would need to learn how to work together if they were to succeed. They faced many challenges together, learning to control their powers and harness their strengths. Lian learned that her power over time was not just about freezing things or rewinding the clock, but about understanding the delicate balance of the universe. Adam learned that his fiery powers symbolized his passion and determination, and that he could use them to forge new bonds of friendship. Salim learned that true strength came not just from advanced technology, but from within himself and his beliefs. And Noor learned that her connection to light allowed her to bring hope and healing to others. As they grew stronger, they also discovered the origins of their powers. Each of them had been touched by a fragment of a celestial artifact known as the Starfire Amulet, which had fallen from the sky long ago. The amulet had bestowed upon them extraordinary abilities, but it had also attracted the attention of the Void Shade, who sought to claim its power for himself. With this knowledge, the heroes were even more determined to succeed. They knew that the fate of Radiant City rested in their hands. Finally, the day arrived when they were fully prepared to take on the Void Shade. The battle was epic. The Void Shade unleashed waves of darkness and despair, trying to break them apart. It whispered to Lian that playing with time would trap her in the past. It told Adam that his fire would only hurt his friends. It showed Noor that her light meant nothing against eternal darkness. However, Salim reminded them, "Our real power isn't in what we can do alone, it's in what we do together." They joined hands, drawing strength from each other. When Lian froze time for a heartbeat, Adam unleashed his fiercest flames. Salim channeled the full power of his armored suit, and Noor added a brilliant beam of light that pierced the heart of the darkness. With their combined strength, the Void Shade vanished, and the city shone brighter than ever before. From that day on, people knew that hope itself was the greatest superpower of all. Thank you so much for watching. What do you think? Would you want to see more AI-generated stories? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more adventures. And as always, stay nerdy, my friends.